Classwork number 3. Classwork number 3 has 3 problems. First one, direct variation, tuition, and credit hours. This was similar to the one that we did in our notes. Here I use the word notes instead of credits. I'm not real consistent, but you guys get the idea. So we wrote it just like we kind of did before. We had the situation, 13 credit hours was 1124. Solved to find our constant 8650. And have our equation plugged in how much for 15 credit hours. Number 34. Now this one's an interesting one because I'm not great at doing electrical work either, but it told us inverse. It gave us y equals k over x. And if you just follow the words, it talks about the current. And so I may not even know exactly what current means, and it says something about resistance that comes after the word varies, and that kind of acts like our x variable. I may not know what resistance means. It talks about amperes and ohms and who knows, but they give us the numbers, right? So we just put the 25 that goes with the current, the 4 that goes with the resistance, solve for it, I get this 100. Again, you may not know exactly what that 100 means, but it goes for a constant. So here we have this relationship. Then just go back and match up what it's saying. It uses the clue of resistance for 5 ohms. So I put the 5 in for my R. 100 divided by 5 is 20. Now I'm trying to make sure that I get the right units. And if my 5, it told me it was ohms, it told me it was resistance in ohms, the other one must be the one that's not used. It's amperes. So my answer is 20 amperes. Again, you may not know what it means, but mathematically, we're correct. Problem 36, direct variation. Here we're talking about speed being squared. So I plug in my numbers, square my 60, divide it both sides by 3600. I get my constant. And I noticed that 12 goes into 360, so I'm going to leave it as a fraction. It usually looks a little bit, it's easier to work with, seeing it as a fraction instead of a decimal. And then later on we can round it off when we plug the numbers in. We can do our squiggly so we know we rounded it off. But you can write it as that fraction. And I think I actually did this incorrectly, didn't I? This should be 1 over 30, which would mean that this should be 16.33. So ignore that decimal right there. So yes, I hear some of you clamoring. There's my mistake for the night. I still did it even when I'm doing it a hybrid class. So you know that I am a real person. I make mistakes. So the answer really is 16.33 feet.